Nipsey Hussle joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Anniversary.
so it's just everyone act like you're listening to a Nipsey Hussle song.
We're gonna be nodding to 3 different songs. Someone's gonna be like,
if I put a house
like
remix
this,
on it, I'm
like,
way off you guys.
What you listening to?
Yo, episode 85, MikiDZ Radio.
Podcast.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. I see where you at, though.
Bro,
You know?
hey, we got too many shows. We got one too many shows.
It's a good problem to have.
When we did the episode, this is so funny you did that because
I know.
We did the episode with Lazy Boy, and then he goes, "Yo, this MikiDZ Radio." It was like,
no, I said MikiDZ show.
No.
And then
I know, but you said MikiDZ Radio, and then we corrected. You're like, all right, back to MikiDZ Radio. He said it again, and he goes, MikiDZ show. And I'm like, no, that ain't it either.
So listeners, it's funny. You hear what you want when you're talking on a podcast. There's been a few times where all of us have said something and we say, yo, you accidentally said that. Like, no, I promise I didn't say that. And then I'll go back and listen and send them a clip of what they said.
Damn,
like,
Joe is known for that shit.
The
He's like,
receipts.
you said it. I'm like, all right, nigga, whatever. That ain't me.
Shit, you're Ableton messed up.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
MikiDZ show, episode 85.
MikiDZ
Podcast.
MikiDZ Podcast.
And he's the one that doesn't drink or smoke at all of us.
Right.
Clearly, I got a lot on my mind.
I see that. You got a wedding coming up, man. You ought to be nervous.
Yeah, man.
You ought to be nervous.
Hey, man, I did the food tasting.
How's
We're
that
going to be
shit?
eating good.
Woo,
We eating good?
We are eating super good.
Dessert too?
Dessert, yeah. And we got late night
We get
Sliders.
Foods? Ooh.
Sliders.
Oh, niggas. I'm getting a
yeah.
room out there.
You guys
man.
ever had an Oreo ball?
Yep.
Like with the cream?
The fried one?
Let's
No,
describe this
no.
real careful.
It's like no, it's just an Oreo with like the inside, outside, like Oreo on the inside,
It's
like
fried?
like a cream cheese type of.
No.
Oh, damn. That shit
It's
sounds
dope.
interesting.
Sounds
Okay.
Fire. We're gonna get my mom to make that.
Delish.
Ooh, okay. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, man. We actually got the marriage license today.
Nice.
We did it online. We
Did
didn't
you
have to
have
show up and wait in line.
were you
that
able
on
to get it
LegalZoom
from
or-
LA or did you have to go to Orange County?
No, so it's because everything's closed down still.
Yeah.
The headquarters is in Whittier, so they did like a Zoom call and they said, raise your right hand.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. We did that.
And then just mail you the joint. Yeah,
just mail it.
we ended up because they were backed up when we did it. We had to go to Orange County. I was just like, fuck it, let's just go to Orange County.
Yeah,
Went to the
make a
Honda
trip
Center.
of it. Yeah.
We woke up one morning. We had a 9 a.m. Thing. We were in and out of there because we had an appointment. So it was in, boom, and because we weren't doing it, we were just getting the license. I'm sure like you guys did. Yeah, we just had to swear. They go, here you go. And we were gone. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's go get breakfast.
Yeah.
Express, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, if you plan on coming to LA, stay away. I was in Venice this weekend. Rode bikes from Venice to Santa
Active,
Monica.
huh?
Popping.
People are outside.
I'm really looking at these people trying to figure out if they're from here or from out of state. It was really hard to tell, but when I walked in the crowd of people in Venice, they always got some street shit going on. Like it just looked and felt suspect, like, because there's been a lot of thefts, right, in LA. So,
Yeah.
but then you go to Santa Monica, it's a lot quieter and everyone knows Santa Monica's cleaner.
Well,
and it's,
I got a little inside scoop on some of those thefts.
Okay.
Apparently, they weren't legit.
how so?
I mean, why else would
Oh, they're just spreading rumors.
Oh, no. They happened,
Yeah.
but they were staged.
The Toca Madera situation, did they pull anything out or they just threaten people as they walk by?
They took something. They took a watch.
I was like,
But
do you know
did
what they
they
took?
threaten their lives with a gun or a knife or anything?
I believe not.
Yeah, so that's what's crazy. Toca Madera, you got seeing on left and right side of the sidewalk, and someone's coming up to you threatening your life with nothing. You just assume he has something, maybe his hands in his
course.
pocket.
Yeah.
And then people naturally just, oh shit, take my watch, leave me alone.
Nah, I gotta see it.
Yeah, let me see.
mean,
it.
I
All right,
gotta
you
see
got,
it.
you got it. You
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. Nah, give me your shit. Nigga, you get the fuck up out of here. You got something on you. You gotta show me.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I've been stuck up before. I gotta see it.
It's a calm experience.
Yeah, so we're here to talk about a lot of things, and one thing that stuck out, and we love a good troll, Lil
Love it.
Nas X.
Woo, man.
Nike sued him. I'm wondering
Misfit?
what's
Nike's suing
the creators.
Misfit.
Mischief.
Mischief. Excuse me.
MSC.
Yeah, yes. Excuse
The
me.
blood
I keep saying
donors.
Misfit. Mischief. Yes. Nike's suing Mischief.
Yeah.
And let's get it straight. As a resident sneaker connoisseur,
Sure, please,
and
please.
As well as Rel and Joe, but deep in the game, Mischief had already done previously the Jesus shoe.
They're known for this type of shit.
So they're known to do a little crazy stuff. The Jesus shoe was numbered, and it had holy water in the air bubble.
Genuine holy water, as they claim.
Blessed.
Yeah, anointed is the word. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So the anointed holy water was in the air bubble, and then in true, controversial fashion, the yin to the yang would be the Satan shoe.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know
But they
what's the difference between these other people redesigning the Air Max or whatever
there
Nike
is no
shoe?
that's the thing. There is no
That's
difference.
what I'm saying. Like, just because it seems like Nike's just trying to save face because they're talking about the devil or people don't agree with this.
From what I got,
there's no difference from anyone
From
else
what I got
redesigning.
is Nike's saying that it's confusing to the consumer because everybody when it first hit the
streets.
masses or whatever. Everyone thought that this was an actual Nike release.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Right?
and this is the problem because I had some quote unquote woke friends that was reposting and really like, I'll never wear Nike again.
Yeah,
This and that.
exactly.
And I think the key word here or caption was Nike is releasing XX, Lil Nas X /
Satan
shoe, right? They left Mischief out of it, and they were labeling Nike was officially releasing it. And then, to those people, I quickly was like, bro, there's no way Nike is affiliated to this, number one. And then two, this falls in line with the Warren Lotuses and kind of everything else. And even then, with Warren Lotus, because you could argue this is more of a shoe surgeon situation, because for those that aren't familiar, shoe surgeon will get the models and panels of every whatever shoe he's remaking, and then change out the materials, and that's like a custom work.
Yeah,
Warren Lotus actually had thousands of pairs being constructed overseas in factories and being made. These, from what I understand, were just restructured and obviously added human blood. I guess apparently
it's real human blood.
Yeah. By the creators, the Mischief guys.
Yeah, and then when they got asked how did you guys get the human blood? They were like, well, not the most efficient way or not the prettiest way. It's just
they pricked it. They pricked their fingers, and when you have that little device where you prick, it consumes the blood, and then they unleash the blood into the shoe.
I mean, that would sign. They said that.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was watching it earlier. Yeah.
All
I think there was 6 of them.
That's white people shit.
I don't know if Lil Nas X was involved with that, but they pricked their fingers.
Yeah, so he did it in line with his music video, giving Satan a lap dance.
Listen,
and then killing Satan and
I didn't watch the video. I didn't
watch the
That's
video.
not my vibe.
I didn't watch the video. Mischief.
I caught the last 10 seconds. I caught all I needed to see.
They're geniuses. If you
the only
ask
thing
me.
I think is fucked up is that, like you said, they got the shoe and did what they want with it. At that point, Nike's just saying, we don't want our brand associated with this, which is fair. But it's still kind of fucked up because you should be able to do what you want once you purchase something.
But that's what Nike is saying, because they were making the same argument about the Jesus shoe. They'd be like, yo, you guys didn't go crazy about this when they did that. They were saying the difference is that they weren't advertising this as a Nike release.
Same way, right.
Like they advertised this one. That's what Nike's issue is.
I think a lot of the captions, with the whole Nike is releasing
this
is
that
what gets sticky.
That's what Nike's biggest
another thing.
Issue is.
You get another person like John Geiger. He's making Air Force Ones. He just changed the swoosh.
So is Cool Kai with the Jordan 1.
And again, that's what I'm saying.
And don't get it twisted that they're not getting lawsuits, by the way.
No, they're not.
I know.
No,
that's
they're not.
I'm saying.
And they're selling out in every fucking city.
They just had to save face. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to clear your name, and obviously it's catching a lot of buzz, and maybe this is just running up streams on.
And that's why I said Mischief is genius for this. They knew exactly what they were fucking doing. They sold out every shoe in minutes.
And they actually sent out the shoe to a couple people early to show all the packaging, all the crazy stuff. And, fortunately, with all the relationships we've had at the shop, I have a good friend of mine
Oh man,
who actually his video's gone viral.
you heard it here first. MikiDZ
Top 5
Podcast.
trending on YouTube.
Okay.
And then I'll let him talk about it.
All right.
I was giving him his flowers a little bit, but in true MikiDZ fashion, I think I'm gonna mess with him real quick before we talk about anything serious. So,
all right.
you guys are gonna be the pastors, okay? Ready? All right, here we go.
I got the holy water on deck.
Nah, we ain't at that church.
They touch boys of that shit.
All righty then. you know I'm going.
Yo,
Yo,
my guy, how are you?
what's good, bro? I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, man. So look, I wanted to call because, I got up with my pastor, and we wanted to pray for you because all the spirits and the crazy dealings you're going through right now. Speaking on the devil and getting your views up. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to pray for you. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, got you, bro. No, man, you're on the MikiDZ Podcast. Mr. Sneaker Life, Mike Mitchell. How are you?
Bro, okay, first off, you don't know how many people have called me and actually prayed for me. No doubt.
Wow, that's
Yo, I feel you. I couldn't even watch your video because the trailer had already got me kind of freaked out. But how are you feeling? Promoting the devil and getting your views up. It worked out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to work out, so it was one of those things.
mission accomplished.
How long before people get over this and move on?
A week.
Next week.
Easy.
Nah, in all. So just joking around. I got DJ Danger Zone to my left, DJ Rel further to my left, Andre Cox behind the cameras.
Hey.
We got the MikiDZ Podcast on DJcity.com, and so we just wanted to reach out, see what the whole experience was. Was it Satan himself that called you, or was it hell on the mailing address when you got the shoes? What was that experience like? For someone who didn't watch the video, or maybe you didn't touch on some stuff.
So, I mean, I'll just tell you my perspective of how everything worked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, Mischief reached out to me. My whole thing is
is that a single person, or is that an initiative? Is that like Scientology, or
Mischief
yeah,
specifically?
it's like one person?
No, it's like
Mischief
3
is
guys.
A company that basically takes a lot of Nike shoes and makes different collaborations from them. They have the Jesus shoes, it was the Holy Water and
Right.
Soul. And those went crazy online. I think the 9th most Googled shoe of 2019. They were selling for about $4,000. Resales dropped since then. And
Jesus.
since this whole Satan thing, they were actually removed the Jesus shoes from StockX and all those other platforms. So that's pretty interesting.
Interesting. I wonder if that's
But
working.
yeah, as far as, I guess, you guys want to look at it on a religious aspect, a spiritual aspect, there's so many different ways of going about it.
Yep.
Me personally, I believe in God, and I feel like this was an opportunity I asked for and I was ready and prepared for.
Sure.
So they reached out to me, told me that information about the Jesus shoes. I did my own research. Obviously, I'm a YouTuber. I do this for a living. So I knew the right title, the right tags, how to go about this. Making that skit is what made it trend for so long because it's entertaining.
Right.
And I mean, I expected it to go viral, but not to the point where I had 48,000 dislikes.
Damn. But doesn't that mess with your algorithm?
No good deed goes unpunished.
Because you got so many dislikes, your video doesn't pop up as much in random viewers?
No, because it was such a controversial topic that YouTube kept it trending. I mean, it got as low as trending number 4. So
Wow.
Any
if
publicity
anything,
is good publicity.
it has 35,000 likes. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh wow.
it's just one of those things.
You think Jesus disliked it, or
Honestly, no. I think he hit the thumbs up. I think it was the first like, no cap.
no cap? Yeah, because I would assume some people probably just went on there to dislike without even watching the video.
For sure.
And I'm not going to front, like, you know, obviously I'm a big supporter of you. I'm a big fan of you. I still didn't watch the video because, like, you know, there's some level of like, I don't really want to go to bed, like doing whatever, but like, or like watching some shit. But like at the same time, you know, you did have a kind of follow-up video, right?
Yeah, I actually did two follow-up videos.
Okay.
So, I mean, speaking on what you're saying, you're the homie. Obviously, you support me. I don't expect anyone to watch the video. Like, any of my close friends, I know how everyone moves, and I get it's deeper than that, right? Always.
Of course.
I have tons of very religious friends that are like, yo, I love you, but I didn't watch it. And I'm like, hey, it ain't for everybody. It's for 1.3 million people, though. That's cool.
Hello.
I like that number.
But what was your second question to move on from that?
Oh, just like the follow-up videos. Like, what was
the
perspective you went on there? And yeah.
It was, I knew the video was going viral, so I'm like, all right, the only way to capitalize on this is to make a second banger. And I even had a sense of anxiety waking up. Like, I felt like someone was sitting on my chest because I'm like, yo, there's real blood.
Yeah, it was the devil.
Yo, you Google paralysis.
So, yeah, bro, I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I'm like, I looked at my views. I'm like, I knew this was going to go off. And then I started feeling like, yo, someone's sitting on me right now. Like, so turn on the camera and I'm just talking. I took that opportunity to preach what I truly believe in, which is, number one, being a man of God. And number two, a book that changed my life was The Science of Getting Rich, which was written in 1910. It was by Walter D. Wattles. And obviously, I'm an influencer. I have people look at me for the aspect of like, okay, is Mike worshiping the devil? Is he a man of God? Like, kids will generally like lean one way or the other based on who they look up to, right?
Of course.
So I just tried to maneuver that into, yo, this is an amazing book that changed my life, and left it at that. I threw them things down the chute. And that's what pushed it going on CNN. It was all over the country on the news networks. It's crazy. It was in Australia. It was in Germany. So.
Sheesh.
My man went international.
Let me ask you this: Are the shoes right now reselling on platforms like StockX and Goat? And if so, for how much?
No, they're not. Just because it was so controversial, all those applications removed that stuff. They are going on eBay, and a lot of listings were removed because of obviously Nike's monitoring it with counterfeit. Technically, the Nike, even though it's a real shoe, it's customized to Nike. It's counterfeit, so a lot of listings are getting removed. But the resale market right now is looking about anywhere from $25,000 to $5,000 is what people are paying. Those are what sold listings went for.
$2,500 to $5,000.
Yeah.
And what was the retail on them? 170?
10. What was the devilish number? Okay. 1,018.
Okay.
I'm surprised it wasn't like 1,66666. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Might as well.
Damn.
You threw out that extra 600 just in case.
yeah.
Man, look, I had to call in an expert on the pod because we opened it up, you know, talking about, you know, it's music related and, you know, all the DJs, I'm sure. I mean, you couldn't run away from this topic, right?
Nah.
So I appreciate you. And then can you do me a favor and just let everybody know where they can find you before we let you go?
Yeah, you guys can YouTube Mike the Compass, or you can find me on Instagram at Mike the Compass. I appreciate you guys having me on.
No,
yeah, man, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Sorry, I had a sideline get you from the, you know, with the surprise call, but I'm glad you were.
I really thought y'all were about to pray. I'm like,
He said, "Cool, pray. Let's pray. Bow your heads."
What, Mike? What you gonna do with the shoes?
He tossed them.
they're gone, bro.
Oh, trash them.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I wonder if somebody picked them up.
sure they did.
Where you live again?
So somebody trying to get the second stimulus.
Yeah, shit.
It's more than this.
I think this is just one big joke. I don't care.
Yeah.
I know where my beliefs are. I know where I stand.
Yeah, don't listen to the atheists. It's okay. No, we're messing with you, man. We appreciate you though taking the time, and I'll check in with you on some real shit later.
All right, man. Much love, y'all. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, bro.
right.
Peace.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
So,
Mike
Satan
the Compass,
shoes.
everybody.
Satan shoes. Satan
right.
shoes.
Man, them shit's trash anyway.
Lil Nas was like, "You got to admit, these joints is fire."
No, they're not.
You know what I will give Lil Nas X is his like ability to just keep it going. You know, whatever he was trolling, whether it was talking about getting Kirk Franklin on the remix to balance things out. And then, but like he'll say that, and then right after he says something like that, he'll be like, go listen to Montero or whatever. I don't want to say the name of the song, right?
Yeah.
But people know. But like, go listen to the song on all platforms.
Yeah.
And then he'll show a mock-up of a Chick-fil-A Air Max and be like, all right, can we call it even? Like,
Listen.
His ability to troll is like...
It's next level, man.
It's next level.
He'll take whatever narrative that they're paying him with and he'll run with it.
And you're not going to cancel him.
No, not at all.
You've technically, a lot of you have been canceling people like him. And by that, I mean gays and black people his whole life. So you're not going to get that on him.
You know what? We got a parent in the building. Do you let young Brigham listen to Lil Nas X? Like the first Old Town Road? Was he big on Old Town Road?
He loved
that shit.
What kid don't love that song? But that's the thing.
But does this event
change
cut
that?
him off from the playlist?
My thing is like it's his lifestyle is normal. It's
Whose lifestyle?
Lil Nas X.
Oh,
like
okay.
as far as being a gay man, he's just young. He caters to the kids. I mean, that's what his music is. It has a good message. I think obviously with the whole satanic part of it, I think he's trolling. He's doing what is going to get people to pay attention. It's polarizing. So it's that simple. But I mean, I don't have a problem with his music. I don't listen to it, but
I don't listen to it.
You know, it's for the kids.
That's what everybody was saying. Like, why just don't pay attention to it, man. Like, you wasn't listening to this fool's music prior to this. Like,
then it don't matter. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a parent, but I do think that the people who are like complaining about the content he puts out, it's just like, well, like,
just don't let your kid listen to it. Yeah, it's that simple. Like, don't blame the artist.
Exactly.
Right.
Your kid got to know better. Your kid got to know better.
I think his response was the Old Town, or who was it? Sci-Hi was the one that complained about his kid listening to this from Old Town Road, and then Lil Nas X replied, "Old Town Road was about adultery and about drugs." He's like, because he had lean in his bladder.
Wow.
I mean, they put it in Just Dance 2020, so you know, I mean, kids gonna hear it.
I can't even be mad at him. Like, it's just like
it's too big.
It's too big.
You couldn't escape the song, regardless where you went. You couldn't escape it. So it's just.
I gotta say, like, listening to the song, it's like it's got a nice melody to it. Like,
it's a bop.
I get it. It's a bop.
It's a bop.
I understand why people like it.
Yeah.
Just put it like that.
Am I putting it on in the car?
No.
Hell.
Negative. AB negative.
All right then.
All right.
Yeah.
Lil Nas X.
Moving on. Last week we talked about bookings and if we're going to get our rate or not. And I actually, shortly after that, I had a phone call with Spryte and we started talking about that. And he was saying how things are popping for him in regards to getting his rate. And I thought it'd be dope to bring him on in a phone call and have him shed some light.
Today.
Yeah.
Shit, let me check my Palm Pilot.
DJ Spryte, what up, man? You
Turn
were
that volume
on MikiDZ
Turn him up.
Podcast, right?
Yes,
We're doing
there
a
you go.
Podcast.
I almost said show and radio show podcast. What's good, man? How you feeling?
Spryte's been on all of them, by the way.
Yes.
Currently disassembling a bunk bed.
Okay.
You guys on the world famous MikiDZ show.
Hey. Yeah, man.
Disassembling a bunk bed? Like,
Disassembling it, breaking it down.
Less room for activities, huh?
Yo, so Spryte, we started talking about bookings and getting your rate and all that. You know, you and I talked last week about it, and you, I was actually happy to have that conversation with you because you were talking about how you're going back to getting your rate. And I know one of the clubs you don't want to mention, but can you shed some light on that? Maybe mention the clubs. And I'm not saying to talk about the number you're getting, but you know, you've been getting phone calls, so talk about it.
Yeah, it's weird because, I mean, for about a year, there was nothing. I mean, maybe a couple of Texas and Florida because they were doing their own thing. But about 3 weeks ago, something happened, and all of a sudden, you know, my phone started lighting up again, and like clubs, like offers were coming in, which was kind of random. The one came in for Chicago, and another came in for DC, another came in for El Paso, Texas, a whole bunch of different spots. And it was just interesting to see how it was going because I had no idea what was going to happen. Like, were they going to come back since it's been a year? Were they going to start going with new talent? Because there's been all these people on Twitch, and I have been doing that. So, it was one of those things where it was up in the air. But then when they started calling, I started to realize a lot of these spots were just reaching back out, almost like a pause button was hit in mid-March of last year. And then all of a sudden, something happened about 3 weeks ago and just unpaused it. And literally, even today, I got, I think, 2 or 3 more offers today from different gigs. So it's starting to feel like 2019 again. And I was really surprised about the rates. A couple of them did the whole, can we just drop it a little bit for now, COVID and all that. But not many.
Yeah.
Not many did.
I think the big concern within the last year has been, the Twitch DJs, the ones that are popping, or just Twitch DJs that are doing well, I guess. They are going to take everyone's bookings. And what you were saying was these bookers never heard of these guys, and they're just basically going back to who they know.
That's what it seems like. Because I was curious. So when I was talking to a lot of these people that I have personal relationships with, I would ask them, so like, who are you using? What agencies are you reaching out to? And a lot of it was just business as usual. Like if you looked at the roster that's coming up, which it seems like end of May is the sweet spot. I think Memorial Day or whatever that holiday is at the end of May. That seems to be like kind of the like all, floodgates open, everything, back to normal as much as it can be. But all of my bookings are coming from May forward. But it was weird when I talked to them. It all seemed like 2019 roster. Like it was the same type of guys, which was very interesting. So I don't know if the people at the clubs that I was talking to, if they were paying attention to like some of that stuff like Twitch, or just if, just going back to what they knew. I mean, that's what it seems like.
Well, it feels like with Twitch, it's right in front of us, right? It's in our community. And so it's hard to look away because there really is no other place for us to look other than our own individual, let's call it pandemic hustles, if any. And I'm curious to see, I would assume, I don't think I felt that everybody would go running and try to pick the top Twitch DJs, but it seems like the DJs that have excelled on Twitch for at the very least added some value to their brand.
Yeah.
Versus they definitely didn't hurt their brand because many of them, you might not have even known what they were up to or what their skill set was until they did that. So we'll see how that holds.
No, I completely agree with that. I completely agree. And that it's probably more in the DJ community, but from my career personally, DJs have been some of my best assets for getting bookings. Yeah. So I think a lot of people will get bookings off it because a lot of, in other interviews I've mentioned, a lot of times where I would get booked, it was just because the opener DJ or the resident was a fan of my mixes or whatnot, and they had some influence with the booker. So I definitely think there's a lot of value in what's going on with Twitch. Absolutely. And some of those people, I think me and Danger, we were talking about it, especially the ones that have been excelling, if they combo that up with some representation, I think they'll do great. I think they'll do amazing.
Yeah, well, I just thought it'd be dope to bring you on to shed some light, and because it's kind of daunting thinking we're not going to get our rate, and some people think it's going to be a while. Some may not believe in themselves to get their rate, but it's actually may be possible for a lot of DJs to get what they want. They just got to play the game properly and not say yes to everything that flies their way, right?
I agree. I think out of all those offers I've gotten over the last 3 weeks, only one pulled the
discount
because of the discount rate. And to be honest, it wasn't that much. It wasn't like crazy. It wasn't like, do it for 50% or 25% of what you used to make. It was like, do it with 10% off.
Yeah.
They took away your gummy bears in the green room.
Exactly.
Get your own Uber.
Spryte, let me ask you this: is any part of you nervous about getting back out there?
Oh no! I'm excited. I'm super excited to get back out there.
Are you vaccinated?
I got one shot of the Pfizer.
Nice.
Did anybody ask about that when they were trying to book you?
No, not a single one.
Interesting.
Sounds like
nice. Perfect.
I think people are just so anxious to get back to it. Like it almost really does feel. It feels to me right now almost like it was back, like any random month in 2019. Just like offer comes in from the agency. Do you want it? Does it look good? Is it great?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, cool. Let's go. It feels almost like then. It's weird because I haven't felt that in a while.
True.
There you go, man. Well, happy to hear it's going out well for you. And be careful with those bunk beds.
Let us know when you DJ in San Diego. We're going to come out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they hit me up as well.
Yeah, San Diego's open.
Over in Oxford, so hopefully I'll be back there.
Nice. All right, brother.
All right, man. Bye, guys.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
Well, for any of you DJs feeling depressed about getting your rate, there's some
You going to
hope.
get it.
Yeah.
If you play your cards right.
If you play your cards right, you got to play the game.
What? As a new DJ, what's my rate? How do I walk in there?
You got to pay dues.
bro,
Free
yeah.
99.
Bro, you take any gig they want to give you.
Yeah.
No, man, y'all supposed to set me up. What the fuck is this?
Wait. Yeah. Am I getting 10, 20% of this?
That's fine.
There we go, baby. There you go. Joe's like, I ain't doing shit for free.
That though.
Joe's like, I ain't doing shit for free, baby. I ain't doing nothing for free. You can't even come from my wedding for free. Shit. It's a tax write-off, right, Andy?
Like, hey, Sean, get away from the turntable. Sean, come here. Come dance with us.
Who is DJing your wedding?
It's either Paris or Cleveland.
Oh, you guys right. You got those. You got
Yeah.
them too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland will DJ and Paris will MC. That's what it will
Are
be.
you guys you guys get the calls yet?
The calls for
Gigs?
Yes.
They're happening?
I have. And speaking of that, rate hasn't changed for me.
No.
Rate hasn't changed. A couple of gigs they offered more, just because they were like, "Yo, we trying to get things going."
We got that BBB.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They were like, "Yo, we got the things
payroll
going." And I think I think some of those, and I think in my personal experience, I think because of that, they were nervous that a lot of DJs weren't going to take gigs out the jump for numerous reasons, whether it be the rate, whether it be you got the COVID scaries, whatever. You know what I mean? So for me, it was, this is what the situation is, being like, yo, you're going to be away from people, like no one's going to be near you. If the only people that would be near you are people who came with you, and then this is what we're looking for as far as the rate and budget goes. So I've done a couple here in LA. Day parties, real, just cool, relaxed, vibing. And I was talking to a friend of ours, and I was telling him, I was like, yo, this could probably be one of the best scenarios right now, because not only am I continuing to still get my rate and I'm able to work now, is that now I'm not required to make people dance. I'm not obligated. If it happens, it happens. As opposed to like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you get booked, like, yo, we need this shit jumping.
Set the vibe.
Yeah, all I gotta do is create a vibe. And we good and we Gucci. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I think right now that is the best scenario for DJs. Like being like, okay, for anyone who feels like they've been out of date with music, they're just a little nervous about getting back out there because of whatever reason. Yeah. I think this was this could be one of the best scenarios, in the next month or two. Because like Spryte said, I think once Memorial Day, summertime comes, everything's gonna be open. And then it's just gonna be like, all right, dancing is gonna be allowed. It's we getting back to 2019 type shit.
We gonna be outside.
Yeah, I've gotten offers, even private gigs. Oh, obviously, the private gigs have been coming here and there, but private gigs are starting to come up as well, and we'll see, man. I'm looking to get back out there. I'm trying to go back to San Diego, man. San Diego look active, but I don't know. I gotta see what their cases is like first.
check.
I know your ass got hit up first. Oh, but you didn't say San Diego, huh?
No, but it's kind of
in the talks.
It's like kind of like
it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
It's part of their infrastructure. I've seen what's going on already. Obviously, like, look, there's a lot of guys that need to make up for some lost time in the crews and in the groups of people and the
Everyone's
relationships.
Gonna take care of their own first,
of course, and then that's the large benefit of working together. On those side of things. And then just like randomly getting calls about going out of town and some stuff a little more local, and from what I'm hearing rate wise, like
it's the same. It ain't changed for you either.
My rate looks better.
They didn't last me before. I'm like, shit, what the fuck did I do during quarantine?
Right. So, but a lot of that has to just do with also like honestly just primarily like the vouching. You know what I mean? People know,
and just keeping that relationship with those people.
Yeah, and almost like not putting myself out there too much. It's working on other things. My brand's continuing to grow. So, just gonna maximize on that and see if I decide to take anything. Because at the same time, I'm not in a rush to go do anything. So.
Yeah.
No, what about you, Joe? You get any offers yet?
Nothing.
No.
My venues, I'm banking on the fall. So with my contacts and new venues
your shit
opening,
is 300 plus people in it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about this, and not to like make excuses for myself or the lack of calls, but the venues I was doing before COVID hit were like A-list venues. So the way I see it is when they open their first, like every venue, I think they're going to go after their own. Yeah. They're going to get their own paid.
The local cats.
And then after that, they're going to start bringing in big dogs. Like they would go after someone bigger than me to really open it up, I think, before they get to me, and they'll eventually work their way to me. That's my logic. Maybe I'm wrong and I get an earlier date than expected. But yeah, like, my venues, they're not opening up until the end of the year, more or less.
See, interesting. And I don't know these... Again, maybe they qualify as a A-list in their area, but they're not. I don't know, whatever. But for the sake of like putting a comparison, like the way I even got offered a gig was they were looking for one of the quote unquote top dogs, or that vibe, but they didn't want to pay that rate.
Yeah,
and then through a vouch, they're like, well, Mickey's like. Can play that for sure, if not better, and won't run you his rate for sure.
Yeah.
But because that dude's rate is so high pre-COVID, like I could come in with whatever rate that's under there and still provide a good experience.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the beauty for guys like us is they're going to say, yo, he can do a better job. He knows how to actually read card. He's not just going to go and play whatever's programmed on in his CDJs. But if we're talking about the same venue, I think one of the venues you had mentioned was ran by like an agency.
It's
like
a large
big label, right? And they used to pay lower rates to their big name, the biggest names in the world, to come and because that's the type of venue they were. It wasn't like book a guy like Mickey and you and maybe Sean one day. It wasn't like that type of venue. They always had to have a big name because a big label situation ran the bookings. So they don't know what to do. So they, figure out, well, Mickey's guy vouching for him, say, yo, he'll do a better job than who you had in mind.
Yeah.
Totally see that for a lot of venues. Yeah. And that's the realization some of these bigger venues are going to have. It's like, well, do we try to pay the $10,000 guy to come in and play a bunch of EDM bullshit, or do we pay someone that can actually read a crowd and get a vibe going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to pay an artist either.
Yeah, and you don't need an artist to play for, in California 30%, specifically.
Yeah.
You got to serve food.
Yeah.
Right.
To be open. So, like, do you really want some guy, like, fucking having Lil Nas X jump through the roof, like, in full energy, lights going crazy while you're trying to cut up your steak? Like, probably not. Like,
come on, man.
Come on, bro.
All that debris, man. Come on.
Fog smoke is taking over and
glitter
shit.
everywhere.
Some motherfuckers going to throwing a baked potato across the way. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. How are you supposed to? And I've run into this situation. It's just like you if you have all those theatrics, like how do you? But you're not supposed to get people to dance. I'm like, yo, you want a specific vibe, but at the same time, you can't have people dance.
This is the best situation because everybody who walks in that door and who wants to walk in that door knows what to expect.
Yeah,
we're not going to be able to dance. We're not going to really be too close. So if anything, I'm coming to just lounge to some real hype shit or some real poppy shit.
But that alcohol gets in your system and then...
Right. But still, I would think in the back of your head, everyone's aware of what's going on. So it's like... And it's not like someone like Mickey's going to do a terrible job and fuck up their high or they're drunk or whatever. So...
I think expectations are really low.
Everybody from managers to
damn, they just want to be outside.
The expectations.
What is that? Hot in here? Oh yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it, run it.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing, speaking on like the type of music that we've been playing. I've been getting a lot of requests for older shit.
Yeah.
I've been getting requests for like older,
see that.
R&B type shit and whatever. And I'm just like, okay. You know what I mean? Like if this is going to be the vibe for I'm going to consider this the first quarter because this is when we're going to, or even though like, the first quarter is pretty much over, but this is the first quarter because we're open. If this is what the vibe is going to be for the first quarter, then shit, like I'm with it. Like I feel like it's going to change once we're open, but I'm like, I'm with this. It's dope.
DJs, expectations are low. Mix in something that they may or may not know.
Capitalize right now.
Try something different. That way, if every DJ in a perfect world, I guess, if every DJ gave them something they're not familiar with, something they don't know, but still funky, then you don't have to stick to playing the usual or you don't feel like you have to stick to playing the usual
100%.
suspects. And you get to experiment. And then you become known as that guy that actually plays cool shit and not just the Billboard's Top 100. But yeah.
True.
Yeah, so speaking of Billboard's Top 100, actually, no, we're not going to do that yet. All right, so everyone's up to speed with what's going on with Scram Jones and Ted Smooth, right? Shout out to New York.
We are. I don't know if our listeners are.
Yeah, so can someone break this down?
I guess I brought it up, right?
Yeah.
Scram Jones, producer, DJ, Sirius XM, very creative. Let's call him a blend artist. He's just, really creative dude. And there was this video circling around the internet that he posted about a certain situation with a certain somebody. And that would be Mr. Ted Smooth.
Ted Smooth face music.
And for to not take up everybody's time too much, I'll do my best of it describing what happened. But it sounded like Ted Smooth during this pandemic has started a blend battle where guys are battling their best blends up against each other. And I guess Ted had asked Scram to be a part of one, and then Scram was going through some of the stuff that he kind of had in his pocket, and I think like we all show each other, maybe a beat you produced or an idea you have, and from my understanding is Ted had also filmed or recorded their conversation or FaceTime or whatever it was, and then Scram did a blend. If you could remind me what it was, but I believe it was
Mr. Telephone Man, and I can't remember what the beat was though.
So Scram Jones did this blend on video, and Ted Smooth had recorded, and it was Mr. Telephone Man over Last Night Changed It All, I Really Had a Ball.
Correct.
Esther Williams, right? Yeah. And so Scram calls him out. And it sounds like that he's not that kind of a guy.
Oh, right? Well, explain why Scram called him out. You didn't explain that part.
So then I guess Scram was unavailable for the blend battle that they had lined up, and Ted, in some fashion, was forced to do the blend battle by some sort of last minute situation, and he claimed on his rebuttal that he had Mr. Telephone Man fresh on his mind, and ended up doing the exact blend that Scram explains he came up with in a battle. And Scram, which I agree with him, and I think we all agree with him, is, we hear inspiration all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
And if you're performing at a club and nobody really gives a damn and nothing's being recorded and you're not putting out a mix, like you might do a cool little transition that's inspired or exactly the same, because nobody cares. Or you use the same edit, same remix, right? That happens in the DJ game all the time. 100%. I think once you claim it, though, changes the rules. And it sounded like Ted Smooth went and did it in this battle that was recorded and publicly viewed and kind of put it like it was his own. And so Scram felt the need to call him out. And from my understanding, Ted's been involved with a similar situation for the most popular remix he's ever done.
By Mel DeBarge. And Mel DeBarge originally put that one together. Shout out to Mel DeBarge. He's a cool dude.
So I guess Mel, do you know more about that?
Not as much as I know about this one, but it's a similar thing. Now the thing with the thing, and it's similar because Scram showed him this. It wasn't like a blend that he did out in public and Ted saw, like you mentioned earlier. Like we do these times where, we're out and about. Scram showed him like, yo, this is something I got in my bag. I've never released it. No one has ever heard this. You're the only person that heard this. And Ted went and used it and put it out in public and made it seem like it was his own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then and I think it was the same incident with
Mel.
Yeah.
I think it was like a Beyonce joint, Single Ladies or something. One of those.
Basically being like, this he was showed this blend behind closed doors and then brought it out to the masses as if it was his own. And then obviously it went nuclear for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's DJ etiquette, and I think we've been around it for a long time. I think we're all kind of a part of that, let's call it mashup class or era, right? Our era is really heavy on the mashup or the blend, and it's kind of coming back. And I think it's one of those things where the OGs have, they can shine some, and I think this is one of those cases where it's a different day, and people are recording everything, people are claiming things, and when Scram, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the Scram video, I was kind of like, man, bro, everybody, I thought, not knowing what the blend was, because here's my thought on wordplay today, 2021, right? And I was heavy on wordplay back in the day, loved it. That was one of my passions, right? But it was always about finding that wordplay that didn't necessarily you couldn't just
it wasn't
search
too
a
obvious.
word, and then it would pop up, right? Because that's what a lot of 90% of people that do wordplay, they'll just search one singular word and then connect it through those words.
Yeah.
And it's really simple. And I was ready to be like, man, how you gonna claim a blend, right? Mm-hmm. And then when he explained the creativity, the
behind it,
the flow, the telephone
being in the
effect,
beat,
I was like, you know what? Fucking creative.
Yeah,
it's fucking creative. And then when he explains the situation, and let's be honest, where they kind of left off was Scram saw the rebuttals. It took apparently.
He put two videos out. Yeah. This nigga was talking.
And Ted was a little shaky on his rebuttals. And he mentioned that in the recording he heard KRS-One Super Ho.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That samples that song. And so Scram left it at, all right, cool. That's what you heard. Go ahead and put out the video. Give us the receipts.
Yeah.
You recorded our conversation. Put the audio out.
And since then, no receipts.
No art.
Quiet.
And
crickets.
If you listen to both of the songs, how do you? I mean, okay, we could say that you would know. I mean, you could possibly hear the similarities, right, from the sample. Mm-hmm. But how are you going to act on video and say you did not know that that's where the sample came from when you're an OG?
Yeah,
that's where it gets a little shaky for me. But that's just the drama. Now. So I don't know. Let's address the drama and then we'll see what it takes.
I mean, I get that, and I just think again, we've had this conversation numerous of times, especially with New York cats, and not just being like, yo, I get that this industry is a competitive industry, 100%. Music in general is a competitive industry, but there's plenty of room for all of us to get our flowers. There's plenty of room for all of us to get our shine and support one another. And it's just another situation where one person heard some shit that they thought was dope, and maybe introduced it to on a platform or a larger platform, maybe than what that other the DJ that they heard do it. Why not just being like, yo, I didn't make this shit, such and such made this shit, or thought of it or created it, or X, Y, and Z. That's an opportunity for both of them to excel in that situation.
Does it change anything if Ted says, before I play this, I want y'all to know that this is inspired by Scram Jones?
I think he can play it. I don't think that's necessary, depending on the situation, right? But once he starts getting approached, once he starts seeing that he's getting traction from it, then that's the time to be like, yo, such and such, Scram Jones is the one that actually came up with this, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, this, that, and the third. That's the time to give whoever the DJ is that you got inspired by, give them their flowers.
Look, it took Ted Smooth 20, 30 minutes to break down
Yo,
what happened. And
videos
like,
was long.
when you have that much to say, something's off and you're just not coming clean. You don't want to admit. I don't know, dude. I don't, like all I know is what I heard in those 20, 30 minutes. But the outside looking in looks and sounds fishy. So, sorry if you're a big Ted Smooth fan and you're a rider.
I got a couple of Ted Smooth joints in my
I'm just saying, put yourself in Scram Jones' shoes and let me know how you react, especially if you're a DJ, especially if you're a passionate DJ, which I don't know a New York DJ that's not passionate, right?
And they cool. Like, if we ain't know one another or we just met each other, like, in passing, that's I guess I would be more understanding in that situation than someone like one of us being like if I played y'all some shit or vice versa, and then you took it to Boston and been like, yo, listen to this shit. And they be like, yo, Danger Zone play some shit. And I'm like, my nigga.
Bro, it's etiquette. Like, at the end 100. Of the day, look, if let's say Joe sends me some tracks, right?
Once a week.
He does
every week. Right?
And let's just say Joe sent me some shit, like an instrumental, right? And then I end up getting somebody on it, right? And it gets picked up.
You running with it.
And I put it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? Like,
hey, listen.
You were just handing it to the group. I was trying to put it on.
I connected the dots.
Right? Because I knew this person at the label or whatever. Like, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Bro, etiquette. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
No, of course not.
Even letting the dude in the booth or whoever.
And this is a much smaller scale. This example is a much smaller scale than what those two are going through, because that's their livelihood.
It's their character.
Right. But I'm saying you still wouldn't do it even though it's on a smaller scale, because I don't even know if I would like trip if you did that, unless you were getting paid from Spotify. But hey,
and that's what I'm saying. He's getting that recognition, and you being like, wait,
at least make sure the business is good. All right,
that's my motherfucking beat. That's my track.
I'm at least paying for my wedding plate.
I would have hoped maybe Scram mentioned this. Did he say he had a conversation with before putting out that video, the first video of?
Well, Ted said they had a conversation before he put out the video. Yeah.
So if I'm Scram, I'm saying, look, man, it's we've known each other for so long, but look, if you don't let people know where you got that, if it's just an idea, maybe, well, whatever. If you don't let people know where that came from and mention me, then we have an issue, and I'm gonna blast you, like, with all due respect, because I've been in the shoes, and not to shoot Ted any bail, because he still needs to come clean if he knows he's wrong, if he's wrong. But I've been in that situation where I hear something, I don't realize I just heard it. And then I go and create a beat or something, and I go, ooh, this would sound dope. And it's like the exact same sound and the exact same pattern and rhythm or whatever, and maybe even key. And I'm thinking, oh my God, where'd that come from? That's fire. Like, it's just one of those once in a while type, like you're in the zone. And then I realize, oh shit, that's already been done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happens when we used to put scratch routines together with, or ideas of what Mickey said, wordplay, like, oh, I just came up with some, and then you listen to a K West routine, like, oh shit, he did this 2 weeks ago. Like, maybe this is where I originally heard it without even knowing. But yeah, I would have hoped Scram would have shot him a heads up, like, I'm about to blast you, let people know.
Thanks.
Save the 20-minute conversation.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope Ted he clears it up, man. Because this is stupid, especially for two OGs in the industry to be beefing over some shit like this. Like, this is dumb.
I don't know. Scram seems like a stand-up guy. I stand with Scram.
I agree. I stand with Scram on this one as well. Only because, like Joe was saying, like, Ted's videos just look real sus.
Bro, he looks shaky.
Too much talking, man. It's just laid out. You started adding other people.
2 fucking videos, my nigga.
You started adding other people. Like, no, I don't want to know what
the weather in New York is too cold to be sweating.
My nigga said, I'm gonna try to make
on.
this story as short as possible, but I gotta tell. Nah, nigga, this gonna be too long. And I saw this. And when you wrote, there's a part 2, I said, shit.
I actually sat and watched both, and I'm like, yo,
I watched both of them too, because I was
what's going on, because you're giving me shit that makes no sense.
And he was talking about
like
somebody else. Yeah, someone else used
dancing around.
Someone else used the acapella, so that acapella was on the front of my mind.
He said a lot without saying nothing.
Yeah, I was like, what?
When it came to the topic, you know what I mean?
Bro.
Like, we needed the meat and potatoes, and when you went off to say that you thought the instrumental or the beat came from this record that samples that record. Like, come on, bro.
You got the evidence on your phone.
Fam.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
it got
remember?
deleted. My bad.
Anyway.
Speaking of evidence,
Man.
how we feeling about the Quavo Saweetie situation? Give me questions. What questions came to mind when you first saw it? Come on. Mickey had a good question.
First of all, explain the situation, what happened.
Okay,
for the
good.
listeners and viewers that don't know.
So Quavo and Saweetie about to get in the elevator, all caught on the elevator footage. And Saweetie takes a swing at him. He ducks. Clearly, he's been working with the same boxing trainer as you. He ducks out of the way. And they kind of drag each other into the elevator, but not really drag. He's
a little tug
Quavo's,
of war.
Yeah, a little tug of war over a case that says Call of Duty, and it looked like Quavo was trying to get that case away from her. And then once he like rips her hand off of it, she just chills out, and then then they're like going down wherever they're going. So what came to mind when you first saw this video?
I'm going to just say a slightly different interpretation. I don't think she was trying to get the case to like take the case. It looked like she was just trying to get away.
Okay.
Because it looked like they were in an argument. And then I think Quavo grabbed the case only to throw it in the elevator.
Gotcha.
To keep the elevator with their stuff.
Gotcha.
But again, either interpretation could work. My initial thoughts was, damn.
Another one.
I got nervous when Sean said, "Yo, did you see that video?" I was like, "Oh God, please, God, please, no one getting slapped, no one getting.
Yeah.
I mean, no woman getting. Just if she's swinging on him, cool. That's fine.
That's cool.
I mean, cool. Whatever. I don't care. Like it ain't me. I don't care. Like, cool. I'd rather be that than the opposite.
Yeah. Well, look, for the sake of some backstory, right? Like, Saweetie went on, respectfully, Justin, shout out to Justin LaBoy, who's really taken off from his demon time on IG, and now has his own show on Revolt, and had Saweetie on. She said some stuff that sounded a little like tricky, and then of course, right after that aired, came a breakup announcement, right? And I guess you felt like something else could have been happening, and then that video surfaced from their home in apparently North Hollywood, y'all neighbors, to here in Burbank. But
Fuck, you doing in North Hollywood?
I'm pretty sure they meant the north side
of Hollywood. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree when you said that. I was like, yeah, that makes a little bit more accurate.
Well, for those that don't know, people that live in North Hollywood in the entertainment business are creators and artists, but they don't want to pay the Hollywood rates for rent.
No,
so
they haven't made it. Let's be
no. I mean, some are smart.
I live in North Hollywood.
They rent in North Hollywood because it's like a 5-minute drive to Hollywood. So it's still like, there's still some pretty nice parts, clean parts, but yeah.
Look, ain't no A-list celebrity living in North Hollywood.
Toluca Lake?
Maybe.
But they'll call that North Hollywood.
JB used to live there.
Yeah, there's a little area in Toluca Lake in the
Adam Levine used to live there.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they were being responsible with their funds.
I mean, it was bad because of the times we're in right now. Like it was a bad look. From what I've seen, I only watched the video once. Oh, I'm lying. I watched it like 2 or 3 times because I wanted to see what was that box, so that they were holding on that thing. And it seemed like, it looked like Quavo kind of pushed her to the ground, but again, it was just like him. It looked like it came from a place of him trying to stop her from swinging on him.
Yeah.
Not
self-defense.
Yeah. Like it wasn't like, yo, I'm trying to cold clock this girl out. Like again, we've seen worse shit with Kareem Hunt, him kicking an old girl on the ground, with Ray Rice. Yeah. So I mean, again, if we're comparing this situation to those, like this is light. This is way light. And,
he didn't put his hands on, like he didn't swing.
Yeah, he didn't swing on her.
So
he didn't do it. Like
I don't
again,
know if there's anything there, dude.
The only thing that I can say that's there is that he did. It did look like he pushed her. Like and again, it was like a push. Like yo, just like chill. Like pushed her down.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't a malicious.
Yeah, push. I saw some comment. I always say I'm there for the comments. I'm reading the comments, and someone was like, people were like, yeah. he put his whole entire body weight on that girl. Like, he should be ashamed of himself. I said, first of all, Quavo was 145 pounds soaking wet. So I was like, he ain't that big. Yeah, he ain't that big. And you know what I'm saying? To be like, oh my God. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just.
She stacked a little better than.
It's just an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, it is.
No, I mean, look, full transparency.
Yeah, we don't condone women beaters.
No.
And violence against women at all whatsoever.
None at all. No, never.
You know what I'm saying? So
I've been there before.
We've all been there before. But we've had to
transparency.
We have to protect ourselves from a woman.
Except for Joe. Joe's perfect.
No, I got punched in the face.
Oh.
Yeah. That's okay. But
what was your reaction?
What's
your initial reaction?
I laughed.
Oh, she hit you hard.
No, she hit me.
No, she hit that.
Yeah, hey, come on, man.
Come on, I know she put some weight behind that. I know who hit you.
She was bigger than Saweetie, for sure.
She put the hips in the rotation.
Yeah.
On the second one, she was, nigga, it's funny.
Hey, let me tell you something. I wouldn't want to catch a punch from her.
Hell nah, nigga.
Of all your exes,
if she punched me,
she's the
you
one
squared up. Fuck that.
Nah.
I'm like,
hey, what's up, bro?
I'm here.
No.
Yeah, we just trying to
Williams.
We're just trying to paint a picture. We're just trying to paint a picture of the situation.
North Hollywood.
There's ways to handle it.
Again,
train tracks.
She's an athlete. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
Listen, cool heads prevail. Yeah. Cooler heads prevail.
But again, you were what? How old were you?
I was young, but that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the ins and out. We don't know the ins and out of the situation. I'm waiting to hear all the facts.
Did you deserve it?
Me?
Yeah.
Sean deserved everything that came to him when he was young. Sure, the funny
maturity, Sean. Yeah, we're just looking for some maturity.
Speaking of kicking him while he's down, he had to get back in the car with a pissed off me because I had no idea. That was the same night as a night.
I wish it was. But
you got punched twice?
Yeah. We were arguing that night. We was arguing
you
that night.
You said she punched you that night.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but that wasn't the same.
That wasn't the same punch?
So wait, Sean is 0-2?
Depending on how you look at it, it could be a W, goddamn.
She's batting 1,000.
I didn't go to jail. I didn't get arrested. So let's just make that clear.
You're right. You made the right
Now, let me ask you this. Did you not react to her because you like, yo, I can't put my hands on a woman? Or was there a thought in your head like, if I try to fight her, there's a possibility of her beating my ass, and I don't want these niggas to know that she beat my ass.
I mean, she might be able to take me in some form, maybe, but I mean, realistically, no, obviously. But
how about now?
I just, I let it
train now.
Yeah, now it's.
Yeah, I would have just dipped in.
She got that mom weight on her now, so she's not as quick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You would have slipped the roll.
Slow ass.
You would have slipped the roll.
I hope she doesn't listen to this. I'm so
sorry. She does.
I just want you to know this is all coming from the right place. If you ever
comedy style.
It's all a joke.
We're gonna tag her in this shit.
That's the end of the pod.
Let's get her on a phone call.
That would be hilarious. Let's call her up.
We should bring her in just for that conversation.
No, let's just leave
Tell us about the time.
Tell about all the times you socked this.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
All right, but to circle it back, look, you don't want anybody to go through that situation. You never want to be in a situation where...
We still want to know what's in the Call of Duty.
I want to know what's in there. What do you think was in there?
2 M's.
Yeah.
You think?
I think money.
Or his chains. Or his jewelry.
Yeah.
Call of Duty box would be a great jewelry box.
Sure.
I mean, it's probably a Pelican case, so you know what I mean?
I think there was a gun in there.
It's either Culture 3 or 2 M's.
The hard drive.
You're going to hurt an artist.
Yeah. Take that nigga's hard drive. Look, Ryan Leslie still hasn't recovered from his laptop. List.
Ryan Leslie out here texting people back.
Oh, man.
He's doing fine.
We're going to get her on the phone one of these days to talk about you.
Saweetie?
That's going to be great.
No, Saweetie.
Exactly.
He'd be like, please get Saweetie on the line.
Single. Easy. Sean said enough.
He slipped the roll that one.
Luckily, Luckily, his current fiance doesn't listen to this podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4.
She does.
Y'all done fucked up.
Ever since
Did
Jordan
she say
Woods.
anything about the last podcast?
Oh, yeah, it was a conversation, but we good.
Who's your crush of the week this week, Sean?
So what kind of bullshit?
I'll say, sweetie, if she needs saving, goddamn it. Quavo, you want the smoke? What's happening, huh?
hey, down.
No, man, help us go viral. We're
Sean. Andre
I'm in a rap
Wave
battle.
God.
I'm in a rap battle.
Oh man. Yo,
Rap
that record
battle,
they put out,
B-ball,
that's a slap.
fighting.
It is. I'm ready for Migos music. We've been talking about that. Migos took a long enough break, so.
You see the comments on some of those posts where like the Migos reunited like the Shield.
Oh shit! Nah.
Justin LeBoy.
Oh man, bro. Poor Quavo.
It's a heartbreak for the Migos to drop the next album.
It's gonna be great.
Man, Quavo. I hate to see that because their relationship seemed like it was solid.
Man, everything looks good outside looking at.
I mean,
Everyone looks like they're in a great relationship on Instagram.
nah. You can tell. I think there's certain relationships, especially out there, you can tell a little toxic. Like when Wiz and Amber got, I'm like, that shit ain't gonna last. When Cardi B and Offset, I was like, you can kind of tell.
Yeah, if they didn't get married, it'd be different. They wouldn't be together.
All jokes aside, how does Takeoff be the one that doesn't take off?
You ain't shit.
Yo, he got his own problems, so.
No, I'm not aware.
It would sound like I wasn't on the best bougie.
You know what people don't understand about that is as long as Migos is on the credit, he's getting paid, whether he spits one word or not.
Yep.
Like that's why he was saying that when they had the Joe Budden situation.
You see this chain around my neck?
I didn't say shit, and I still got paid racks. That's the type of life I'm trying
What
to
you
live.
doing? You out here busting your ass.
Yeah, look at you.
Make minimum wage.
Takeoff is gold.
Hey, listen, shout out to Takeoff, man.
Yeah. All right. So we're about to wrap this up. MikiDZ Radio, got it right.
CJ recap real quick.
Oh yeah. You know, we had an interview with CJ for MikiDZ Radio on Globalization Sirius XM, who is in LA. So he's feeling our weather right now. But yeah, we talked about Whoopty, the Latin takeover. You know, I pointed out that I never heard Ozuna rap like that, and he one-upped me with, this is the first time both Ozuna and El Alfa got on a drill beat.
Yo, speaking of that, when he said that, this was his first time being on a drill beat.
Who?
CJ.
Oh, right.
Whoopty was his first time being on a drill beat.
And that producer, I caught a little bit of his little interview. He said, like, he watched a couple YouTube tutorials, and that was like his first or second drill beat, and it just took off. And he's was he English or he's from another country?
Yeah, he's from
English.
UK. Yeah.
All right, well, he's got that UK blood, so you know, it's
where it originated.
But yeah, and then he said, he also mentioned that El Alfa, a lot of people were saying this is what Alpha used to sound like. No, Anuel. Anuel, I'm sorry, not El Alfa. I like El Alfa though.
Start over.
I like El Alfa. Like, I like when he gets on the track. That's what he sounds like to me, right? That's him.
No, he's right. He's right. I'm not.
He did it again.
Go listen to El Alfa and listen to me and tell me I'm lying. So on the Whoopty remix,
Hold on. You gotta do it side by side. You gotta cut it out. Cut it out. Put it in. Cut it out.
so on the Whoopty remix, they got Ozuna and Anuel.
Yes, Anuela.
And what he was saying, and what CJ was saying is that this is what Anuel used to sound like. He used to rap like this, sound like this, and then for whatever reason, well, we know the reason, want to make money, you know, started doing what he was doing. But yeah, your guys' take on the interview?
It was dope. It was dope to see that because he also mentioned how this was one of when you asked him, this is one of Rowdy's first tracks that he jumped on when he got released in December.
Yeah.
So that I thought that was dope. I thought it was dope
Big
because
cosign.
Yeah, I thought it was dope because we asked him about the whole, you know, getting love and support from other New York artists and shit like that, and he was like, nah, it's definitely hard out there because, you know, it's competitive and whatnot. But being able to get obviously French Montana's going to jump on. He's signed to French Montana. But being able to get someone from like Rowdy, who's from a different borough, to jump on some shit and kind of like, you know, like, yo, New York niggas can stick together or whatever. And they called it the New York remix, right? If I'm not mistaken, because they made a Latin remix, obviously. So yeah, I thought it was dope, man. He seemed like a really chill kid. I thought there was a part of me that thought he might be a little like active because he's young, but he was chill. He was cool.
He looks younger than his age. As I was looking at his pictures, I'm like, damn, this dude looks like he's fresh out of high school. He looks really
26, 24. Oh, 24. You're right. Yeah. 24.
No, shout out to him, man. I think, you know, personally, I think it was probably our best interview. Definitely in regards to flow, and so it was cool to have that conversation with him, and honestly, like, kind of like humanizing him, like where you know, for the most part, guys that are having this kind of like quick success, like you said, there's a lot of energy, or like there's this like fake facade maybe of like pushing the records, but it felt like we had a genuine conversation with him. And he gave us some real answers, and we were able to make him smile. You know, he didn't take it like fully. Like at first, like there's some moments where it felt very serious, and then, you know, just trying to push on, you know, him being in LA and that conversation, and then giving us some of the real answers in regards to New York. That was great.
Well, the last thing a lot of these guys want to do, and especially with people they don't know, is do another interview.
Right.
Like, it takes time out of the day. They'd rather be chilling. They'd rather be doing whatever. Yeah. So with all that being said, I think he did a good job of presenting himself and at least appearing interested in the interview and giving us information that, you know, can, you know, something that we can enjoy. But yeah, I don't know when that's going to air yet.
We don't know.
I'm still waiting for them to send the instrumentals to put under the convo.
It's not DJcity?
What?
Was it on DJcity?
No. But yeah, we'll let you guys know. It'll be on Sirius XM. They'll air it randomly, and we'll let you guys know.
Just make the beat.
Just throw my beat under it, and then maybe they'll. I could do that.
Let's move it.
If they continue to hold out, I'm just gonna
look up the tutorial.
On a
stupid nigga.
It's not a hard sample to find.
Not.
Like it's.
Don't disrespect the multi-platinum selling producer.
No, it's a 2-bar
I'm
loop.
giving you so much shit.
No, because I'm thinking about it as we're going. Like, it's a 2-bar loop, like every other hip hop song. But it is. All right, moving on. Before we get out of here, globalization. We just had Dynamics.
Yeah, DJ Dynamics.
Yep. You know what he brings to the table. He had a great set. Make sure you catch it on our Mixcloud, along with the rest of our mixes. And up next, we got Dante the Don from Chicago. Yeah, man. So yeah, make sure you keep up with all our mixes there. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we do MikiDZ Radio on Pitbull's Globalization Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Talk to him.
And that's it for us.
Is it back to PDT now?
No, now it's PST. It was PDT before, right? Yeah, because it was Pacific Daylight. But it's not daylight savings anymore.
Somebody look it up.
Pacific time, PT. That works 365 days out of the year.
Talk to him. Like part-time jobs.
Yeah, that part.
Anyway,
all right.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.